Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky will go before the UN Security Council this morning, asking for more help to stop the invasion.
Russia deserves it now. Terrorists have no right to hold nuclear weapons. No right.
Zelensky addressing world leaders at the General Assembly. President Biden told them Russia cannot be allowed to carve up Ukraine. Today, he'll meet at the UN with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
National security and dealing with Iran are likely to be top of mind for the two world leaders, as the partnership has been key in the Middle East. There has been some criticism, particularly from congressional Democrats, over Netanyahu's actions to overhaul the country's legal system. That includes weakening Israel's Supreme Court and giving more power to other parts of the government.
Fox's Ryan Schmel. 6 Palestinians are dead after Israeli raids targeting militants in the West Bank and unrest in Gaza. Attorney General Merrick Garland faces a lot of questions from Republicans this morning at a House Judiciary Committee meeting. They allege the Justice Department has been weaponized against conservatives. Congressman Andy Biggs tells Fox he wants more info on the Hunter Biden IRS investigation.
We've had whistleblowers come in and testify that their investigation was hindered.
Republicans have an impeachment inquiry probing President Biden's alleged role in his son's overseas business dealings.
But in a document I obtained this week, Garland defended the department and touted its efforts to protect democracy and crack down on crime. But he does not make any mention of the Hunter Biden investigation and potential Biden family corruption in that document.
Fox's Brooks Singman. Congress has 11 days left to work out some sort of budget.
Is critically important to the American people is for the government not to shut down.
Republican Senate Leader Mitch McConnell, but Democrats control the Senate and are unlikely to agree to spending cuts House Republicans are considering that may not even pass the House. Some conservatives oppose short-term funding. America's listening to Fox News.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up?
I'm tired of feeling so bloated.
That used to be me. Then I got this.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right?
Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
Well, the UN Security Council hears today from Ukraine's president demanding Russia be punished for its invasion. Russian leader Vladimir Putin met today with the Chinese foreign minister, and Putin accepted an invite to go to China again next month. There is another conflict that has flared up in Eastern Europe.
Azerbaijan has been pounding Nagorno-Karabakh for 2 days in what it calls an anti-terrorist operation against the ethnic Armenian enclave. Now, news reports from neighbouring Armenia say a ceasefire agreement has been reached. Russian peacekeepers stationed there since 2020 are being credited with brokering the deal. It'll reportedly see Armenian military units withdraw and local forces disarm. The Prime Minister of Armenia has accused the Azeris of ethnic cleansing. There are claims of nearly 100 deaths. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
A white supremacist has worked out a plea deal over threats related to another white supremacist's murder trial in Pittsburgh.
Hardy Lloyd could spend more than 6 years in federal prison for targeting jurors and witnesses in the Pittsburgh Tree of Life synagogue shooting trial. On Tuesday, Lloyd, a self-proclaimed white supremacist, pleaded guilty to taking aim at prosecutors, witnesses, victims, and jurors in the trial of Robert Bowers, who was given the death penalty last month for carrying out the massacre that left 11 dead in 2018. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reports that Lloyd ran a website that called for violence against the city's Jewish community and threatened to expose and dox jurors. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
The Federal Reserve meets again today as inflation rises back up, but
the central bank is expected to hold interest rates steady at their current 5.25% to 5.5% level, a step consistent with the Fed's shift to a slower and more considered pace of rate increases. However, Fed Chair Jerome Powell will deliver new economic projections and signal whether rates could be increased at one of the remaining 2 Fed meetings of the year.
That's Hillary Barsky. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. An investigation continues after a family of 4 found dead in Romeoville, Illinois. Police say Roberto Roland and Zoraida Bartolome, their 2 kids and 3 dogs discovered shot to death Sunday night inside a home at the 500 block of Concord Avenue. The discovery made after a member of the family didn't show up to work. Illinoisans who own firearms that can't be sold in the state will be allowed to keep them. Illinois State Police filed an emergency rule with the Secretary of State to implement the Protect Illinois Communities Act, which regulates the sale and distribution of assault weapons, high-capacity magazines, and switches in Illinois. Act went into effect in January. Illinois offering free car seat checks for parents and caregivers this week. The Department of Transportation encouraging parents and caregivers to have their child safety seats checked to make sure they meet certain safety standards and installed correctly. There will be 92 car seat check events throughout the state this week. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim Miller. Good morning. Morning, Diane DC. Hi. I am Stevie Jay. We're into Wednesday. This is September 20. Weather brought to you by Busey. For over 150 years, it's been Busey, member FDIC. Our meteorologist, Greg Solier, joins us now. See if you farmers out there doing a little harvesting.
It's true.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent. And that should continue on with a pretty decent pace around here. If you're ready to go, if you're not quite there, then the usual calculations, folks tend to kind of keep an eye on temperatures. Daytime to nighttime, you can calculate what we call growing degree day units. That's usually a trip off when you're ready to go. You're watching leaf color changes and leaf dropping going on with soybean fields, and obviously the turning of corn plants from bottom to top around here. That's the right way to go, from top to bottom. That means you've got a problem going on one way or another. And then you do a test run to see how much moisture content is in the corn, and then later on in the beans for bin storage issues. And all that goes into this weather pattern, which is very much favorable for all of that. And then some, with any organized rains again this morning up north and northwest of Chicago. Some flooding there. A little bit of rain from central and southern Missouri back in the areas of the southeastern plains. We'll get into some of that around here late in the weekend, early next week. And so once again, Mother Nature building in a little break time for folks in the harvest and backyard scene around here. And there'll ought to be maybe a half to an inch, maybe even an inch and a quarter worth of rain spread over about 3 or 4 days beginning on Sunday. 53 now, Willard Savoy, 55 at Rantoul, and over at Danville, 57 Bloomington normal. Forecast high for the day today. Another great one will actually top the 80-degree mark over much of the area at 82, with a partly to mostly sunny sky, southeast to south winds, increasing clouds, 60 tonight, partly sunny, 83 tomorrow, 85 on a south wind and a mostly sunny Friday. The old equinox in here on Saturday, pre-dawn hours. Who cares? It's a partly cloudy, warm football high of 84 degrees and up near 80 with a couple of showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. Better odds for Monday, winding down on Tuesday with highs much of next week well into the 70s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Now she's headed to Capitol Hill to save the country. It's Nicolay Ambrose. How are you?
Oh, Stevie J, I'm good. Are you not allowed to play cricket to welcome me if I'll be on Capitol Hill?
Well, I like mentioning you're the last Republican in Maryland,
right?
And, and what kind of goes with that is Nicolay doesn't get invited to anything. I mean, it's like, hello, can I come over for the party?
There's that.
Yeah, they're all wearing blue sweaters, and you're wearing your red, so.
Yeah, but then they say, how do I get to a Republican presidential debate? And I say, be a Republican.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. But then again, they don't want to go anyway, so, you know.
No, they do. They seriously do. Yeah, we're more fun. Republicans are more fun. Have you
been to a Democratic? I love dogs.
Oh, look.
Kind of doggies do.
Hold
on, don't tell me that sounded like a golden.
They are big dogs. I apologize. My dogs are saying hello. Not on Capitol Hill yet, obviously.
What kind of dog? Yeah, I love dogs.
You know, I got a Portuguese water dog before the Obamas got them.
Oh.
And then they had health issues. So now I have a dog called a Bouvier. It's a big, fluffy black dog.
They shed?
No, well,
wow.
They have hair.
I know,
yeah.
But don't they shed all over the house?
No, because they have hair, so you have to give them haircuts. And then they're like hypoallergenic, but they're big, which is what I want.
Well, I could hear the big. Yeah. Big. Okay, we'll ring the doorbell again. I'd like to hear. No, okay. Okay, so it's Nicolay going to Washington. What are you doing on Capitol Hill today?
Well, we are hanging out with some of our congressional families as this wonderful, very exciting budget battle is going hot and heavy. You know, God bless the Freedom Caucus members who got together with the Main Street members and actually agreed on something with these 8% cuts to everything that wasn't defense and veteran spending. And I have to tell you, I'm a little surprised, especially that some of the Freedom Caucus members went against Scott Perry, their chairman of the Freedom Caucus, and Byron Donalds to vote against this, because this is just an opening salvo, right? Because whatever the House passes is going to the Senate. Chuck Schumer's saying, oh, whatever they pass, it's dead on arrival.
Yeah.
So then it has to go to conference and they have to hammer it out. And then the White House is saying, well, if it has any of the Republican priorities, and we're going to veto it. So, you know, House has to get their first volley over to the Senate.
Well, I mean, is government going to shut down in a week and a half, or what's up?
So here's the thing, right? So here, both chambers are totally out of recess. They're on recess in August. D.C. is totally dead in August. And then they schedule 3 weeks to come back and get all this done. Silly, right? Not enough. Maybe that's one of the reasons why this is always such a disaster. And they pass these ridiculous omnibus spending bills, which I think are bad news. It is truly better, hasn't happened in forever, when you actually have an actual appropriations bill for each different area. But what we're looking at is typically, if they can't get things negotiated, they pass an actual continuing resolution, which is not yet on the table. And that is where they would say, we're going to take Nancy Pelosi's 2022 budget with all the Democrats' priorities from when the Democrats controlled everything, and we're going to continue that exact level of funding with no changes for, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever. Obviously, with Republicans in control of the House, since the House of Representatives is supposed to control the purse strings, supposed to be the origination source for all these revenue bills, you would hope this is the only aspect where Republicans have leverage that they'd get some Republican priorities in. So yesterday did not go well. There are several more days. So let's hope they get something that, there were some really good things in that stopgap measure with an 8% reduction. That's huge in terms of government funding.
Usually there's like a built-in 5% raise on everything. And then if you make a 3% raise, it's a cut. Right? I mean, let me just ask you that. If you were in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and there was a boat called the Kevin McCarthy, would you get in it?
So I have to tell you, right now I appreciate what he's doing. I think a lot of people had problems with his negotiations with Biden, which, by the way, if nothing passes in a few months' time, it institutes basically 1% cuts to everything and moves everything forward. So, right, we should be able to do 1% better than 1%, ideally. But most of all, we should get things funded. Like, guess what? If Republicans want the border wall funded, then Senate Democrats want Ukraine funded, why not say, for every dollar you spend on Ukraine, we're getting $1 to secure our own border? Why can't we start to win some of these messaging wars?
Well, they don't want a wall. Their policy is open. Why would they want to close it? That's not the policy.
It is, but if they want Ukraine, if that's the hill they're going to die on, let's get them to give something Republicans want.
Yeah. It's Nicolai Ambrose, whose microphones were clearly audible for her last Republican meeting in Baltimore. Yeah, that was it. And she had to bring her own snacks.
Oh, man, you are rough. You're rough. Okay, well, you always ask what my social media is. Check out how fun life is as a Republican, even in Maryland, at Nicolai USA on Facebook or at Nicolai Ambrose on X.
Okay, so you're going to go into the swamp. You're not of the swamp.
Well, and what do you wear now that John Fetterman is breaking out the gym shorts and hoodies? Are we loosening up the dress code there or what?
And Nicolai is not loosening up, and Nicolai is a woman who wears dresses or cute, colorful suits to D.C. So those are my fashion options. I will keep it together, even though John Fetterman is single-handedly trying to lower the level of civilization.
Right.
Okay, well, there's that. So you're just a day trip and then back home.
Then on to a congressional debate tonight, and eventually I'll get back home.
Well,
fun, busy day.
Thank you for all you're trying to do when most of us go, ew. Anyway, we appreciate you diving in and helping and trying and all that, Nicola Ambrose. One more time for how to connect with you.
Okay, Facebook at Nicola USA and Instagram and Twitter at Nicola Ambrose.
Always a pleasure, Nicola. Good luck today.
Great chatting. Thanks.
All right, sports headlines, ESPN 93.5.
Milwaukee came out on top 7-3 yesterday. We've got a 6:45 start here on ESPN 93.5. Let's get your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. Last night at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals just couldn't carry over from the momentum of Adam Wainwright's 200th career win on Monday night. And the Brewers won 7-3 last night.
Early on, Drew Rom looked good in the game. First time through the lineup, he was pretty sharp, but then a series of doubles in a row in the fourth inning by Milwaukee. Milwaukee is a first-place team, and they played like it last night.
And the win went to Colin Ray, who went 4 2/3 innings. The loss to Rom, and Rom falls to 1-3 in his young career with the Cardinals.
Cardinals just couldn't get anything going after the early runs. The first innings, the Cardinals actually came out swinging. Looked like it might be their day, but it wasn't.
Well, the Cardinals tonight will go with Zach Thompson. He's 5-6. Adrian Hauser, 6-4, will pitch for Milwaukee. We're on the air at 5:50. 6:35, Ricky Horton will have the lineups. Now I'll bring you the first pitch at 6:45. A note of interest, Richie Palacios hit his 5th home run last night, but the Brewers won it 7-3. The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
Cubs win 14-1 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's a 6:40 start over on US 105.9 as that series continues. Alexander Canario's grand slam.
The 1-2. Canario hits one in the air. Deep left center field. Way back. This will go. Grand slam.
Yeah, good crowd at Wrigley last night, to be sure. Big win for the Cubbies. Every game that they win now is big.
Right. Now, with the Brewers winning yesterday, I think they have a 6-game lead in Central.
It's all about the wild card now.
Gotcha.
It's over for the Central. It's now about the wild card race, and I think the Cubs are the 3rd position as we speak this morning. Cincinnati lost, so the Cubs gained a full game. They were tied with Cincinnati. So, it's right there. Just play Pittsburgh, beat Pittsburgh. That's all you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Nationals over the Chicago White Sox. That final was 4-3. They've got a 12:05 start today. LA Angels star Shohei Ohtani with the elbow surgery this week. So that was a report. As far as our Illini, Big Ten play begins with Illinois volleyball. The team heads to Bloomington, Indiana for a match against the Hoosiers.
Right.
So, of course, we've got Florida Atlantic. We're giving away tickets when we head to Pia's after 3 on Friday.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Van vicinity. Warm, late summer weather continues on to the foreseeable future and in the longer ranges as well, at least through the rest of the month and perhaps even the very beginning part of October around here, with temperatures at or well above seasonal expectations, including today. We'll top out around 82 under a mostly sunny sky. Any organized rain up north of the Kankakee and west of the Illinois. Again, for the day-to-day, southeast to south breezes, overnight lows tonight, either side of 60, with increasing cloudiness for the day tomorrow. Sun and clouds, southeast winds, and a high near 83. Down to the lower 60s tomorrow night. More unseasonably warm weather for the day Friday and Saturday, too. 85 on Friday, 84 at kickoff time Saturday afternoon. That'll be the first day of fall, would you believe? And a couple of isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms for Sunday and Monday. Lingering chance on Tuesday. Dry the middle and late parts of next week. Daytime temperatures between 75 and 80. That's a few degrees above average still. Overnight readings 55 to 60. For Steve.
At Busey Bank, we're proud to serve our local community through financial guidance and community investment. Offering sound advice and actionable insight, Busey builds financial strength, supports homeownership dreams, and offers customized lending strategies. connecting with our neighbors to build stronger communities. UC Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Economists are expecting the Federal Reserve to hold interest rates steady at its meeting today, but leave open the option for more increases later. As the Fed decides today on its course of action to deal with inflation here, the United Kingdom is finally seeing some progress in fighting inflation there, especially for food, hotels, and recreation. Prices were expected to rise. The UK Consumer Price Index moderated in August to 6.7%. The Bank of England meets tomorrow. Boeing shares are higher after the company raised its forecast for long-term demand from China. Boeing now believes the number of commercial airliners in China will more than double over the next 20 years. Today, Klaviyo, a marketing software firm, launches its stock. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey there, it's me, Kennedy. Make sure to check out my podcast, Kennedy Saves the World. It is 5 days a week. Every week, we check in with Jimmy Fallon, bring in authors for the book club, and even treat some of your favorite Fox personalities to a very special happy hour. Download and listen at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Kennedy Saves the World. America's listening to Fox News.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Did you know the Anita Purvis Nature Center is a home for live animals? Stop by the Nature Center. View the turtles, owls, snakes, and salamanders. These were orphaned or injured animals who wouldn't be able to survive in the wild, but they help educate the public at the Nature Center. Sponsor an educational animal for as little as $15 a month. And make sure that animal has good food, housing, and medical care. For details, visit urbanaparks.org.
Call the roofing company that is family owned and operated, licensed, insured, and bonded. We offer excellent customer service and make our customer needs our top priority. Roof Doctors has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. It's easy to see why we have hundreds of very happy customers. Call us today for your free estimate or to discuss your upcoming project at 328-7529 or visit roofdoctorsco.com. That is 328-7529 or roofdoctorsco.com.
Ed Martin, Brother Johnny coming up because it's Wednesday. ESPN 93.5, middle of the week, September 20, getting ready for Florida Atlantic. We're a 13-point favorite. Their starting quarterback is out. Got to win this one. Go to 2-2 is the goal, and then off we go into the Big Ten West, which to me looks like flip a coin. Most of the weekends should be super competitive. There's no hammer in the West. Even Iowa's not a hammer. They're going to get beat at Penn State, I think.
Okay. It's band day for those going. There's lots of bands that are going to be around and lots of fans come along with that. So make sure you're getting in there early. And if you do decide an hour early, it's only $3 for a lot of the drinks and treats you can get.
Hot dog.
Some of the vendors.
Yeah, and nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want tickets for free, go find Diane at Pia's on Friday.
That's right.
Live broadcast 3 to 5.
And the jerseys and the T-shirts and koozies and hats that we hand out. It's a blast.
No, you go there, you're going to have a high likelihood of winning something.
Exactly.
All right, it's ESPN 93.5. Today's Stever. This is a program where I, Stevie Jay, just happily hand you my money. You will never find this deal maybe anywhere in the world today. If you need an appliance, I'm sending you to Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. You get $500 off a minimum spend of $1,000. It's going to be very easy to spend $1,000 on anything like that today. So you're needing a freezer, a refrigerator, a microwave, dishwasher, whatever it is. You will never find this anywhere. $500 of my money goes toward your $1,000 minimum spend. And if you've been thinking, man, oh man, I really didn't have $1,200, but if 500 makes it $700. So anyway, if this can help you, you text in Dick Van Dyke or DVD to 217-359-2255. 217-359-2255. You want to be considered. I'll do a couple of these today.
So it's the founder's name, but it's not the actor.
No, it has nothing to do with the actor Dick Van Dyke from Danville.
Right.
There was actually another Dick Van Dyke.
Right.
And yeah.
Okay.
So it's unusual. But I always thought it was the actor, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, if you're interested, again, they're on North Neal as you get right before you go up the overpass.
1510 North Neal Street.
Yeah. And then you can go buy what you really need. You can go online at GoStever.com. I got it up there, too, if that's easier later if you're driving.
All the major brands, Frigidaire and Whirlpool and GE and Samsung. And, boy, they've got a lot of great items.
And if you want the fancy schmancy, real cool stuff, as you walk into the store, turn right.
Okay.
Yeah. You at least go look at it. You say, oh, you can't pay $18,000. Okay. Then go left.
Okay, gotcha.
And more the normal price.
All righty.
Well, they got the fancy schmancy stuff in there,
Well,
too.
yeah. I mean, the crisper drawers and
What's a crisper drawer?
I mean, it keeps your vegetables at a perfect temperature so they're fresher longer. I want that.
Yeah, I know. No, it'd be a nice thing. So go to Dick Van Dyke. $500 off, a minimum spend of $1,000. If you want to be considered, text me or go to GoStever.com. Okay, so the UN speech from Joe Biden yesterday. We'll get into that with Ed and Johnny.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Was there a gaffe again?
I could find 10-minute Windsor Savoy that would sound better today. I could walk in, grab the first 10 I found. He's 80, man.
And we all know this chapter's coming, and and I've certainly went through a rough chapter with my mother-in-law.
Well, it's aging, and it just can this man be? There's just no way Joe Biden's going to be the candidate. I'm sorry, there's no chance. And then we let Iran get up there. Their president started dissing America right in New York City, man. It's my turf. It's a UN.
Right.
Remember the guy? Who was the guy that went there when George W. was there? And said he smelled sulfur because the devil is here. I mean, was that one Noriega? Who was that guy? Venezuela guy? Anyway, it's the UN is,
But Benjamin Netanyahu visit with him today, and then the president of Brazil, too, I think, on the agenda.
A little easier when it's in New York than overseas. All right, so we'll get into that and more. Cubbies got to keep winning. US 105.9, 5 after 6 is when we go to the pregame. Every game huge. There are 5 teams involved in this 3-team race. Cubs are there right now, but they're half a game ahead of Miami. That's Skip Schumacher's team. And just a game ahead of Cincinnati. Every game is crucial. And the Cubs are fortunate to play teams they should beat this week. And then next week they go to Atlanta and Milwaukee. But they'll all be resting for the playoffs. It's always a little awkward when you're Atlanta and Milwaukee, you're in the playoffs, and you're supposed to really compete because it's important, but you're going to rest your guys because your goal now is the playoffs and to be ready to go. But then the other teams are going, well, you ought to play your best teams because you got to try and win. Yeah, I know, but they're ready for the playoffs, and they're going to do what's best for the playoffs versus the chance for Miami to get in or Cincinnati or anybody else. So
that Venezuelan president, Hugo Chavez, who said that, well, it was on September 20th, 2006.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the anniversary of that. 2000, he smelled sulfur.
Right, and said the devil was president.
It was awful.
President
People were
George
kind of
W.
chuckling
Bush.
and laughing. I said, that's not funny.
Right.
Okay, so I talked to Tim Onstop, my friend at Gale Ferrex Trucking and Dedicated Diesel. They sell Dixie Chopper. And I've been running this commercial. I'm going to play it in a second. And 5 of those mowers have jumped off the shelf.
I'm telling you, it's a great price
they're
right
just
now.
they're not turning down offers. If you are a commercial guy or just want a fantastic,
you need to upgrade.
You got to look at this, man. I'm telling you. Hey, folks, fall is coming, and so are great deals on the world's fastest mower, Dixie Chopper, at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana. They still have some 23 and a select few 22 residential and commercial models at liquidation prices, too low to advertise. Whether you're mowing your yard at home or 200 yards commercially, you'll get the best warranty in the business with 3-year bumper-to-bumper unlimited hours or 5-year bumper-to-bumper up to 600 hours that includes the engine, deck, and spindle hub. Go see Andy Bowman at Dedicated Diesel in Urbana for warranty details and best pricing on the world's fastest mower. He's clearing out inventory to make way for the new 24s, and no reasonable offer will be refused. Dedicated Diesel, 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, that's just off Route 45, 217-328-0562.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. There could be a showdown at the United Nations this morning when Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky takes part in a Security Council meeting about the Russian invasion. He tells the UN General Assembly,
Ukraine is doing everything to ensure that after Russian aggression, no one in the world will dare to attack any nation.
Russia's Security Council member and Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is expected to attend the special session. The Federal Reserve Bank today announces its decision on interest rates.
The central bank is expected to hold interest rates steady, a step consistent with the Fed's shift to a slower and more considered pace of rate increases. However, Fed Chair Jerome Powell will deliver new economic projections and signal whether rates could be increased at one of the remaining 2 Fed meetings of the year.
That's Fox's Hillary Barsky. That interest rate announcement is at 2 p.m. Eastern. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. University of Illinois police investigating after a student drugged at a frat party over the weekend. They say it happened early Sunday at a frat at Gregory Drive in Euclid Street. The female student handed 2 open drinks by party attendees. The student went home and called police before going to the hospital for medical evaluation. 4 people facing charges from the Illinois Attorney General's office in connection to organized retail theft in the Mattoon area. The Attorney General said 4 are accused of stealing tools, electronics, and equipment totaling $24,000. They were arrested after a multi-jurisdictional investigation, including Mattoon Police. Office of the State Fire Marshal offering fire departments and ambulance services across the state a chance to purchase small equipment and tools through grant money. The OSFM offering $4 million to help eligible agencies buy equipment. It's now accepting applications for this money, the money coming from the Small Equipment Grant Program. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Our weather with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Carl.
Prostate Cancer Awareness Month in progress now. Discuss the screening with your healthcare provider, especially if your risk is higher. Go to carl.org for information.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for eastern Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity, while clusters of showers, thunderstorms play out in the Mississippi River Valley on westward and up along and north of the I-80 corridor. We sit in good shape here at east central Illinois. Warm days, pleasant nights, humidity for now in check. And yeah, it's more or less a summery feel, even well past the old equinox rolling in here in the pre-dawn hours of Saturday. No changes to football Saturday's forecast with temperatures in the 80s. Forecast for the day today is a day that features partly to mostly sunny skies, warm weather, again southeast to south winds at high at about 82, average high this time of the year at around 77. Well, about tonight with increasing clouds and 60. Tomorrow partly sunny, warm southeasterly breezes at a high near 83. Sunshine at 85 the Friday outlook. Saturday with autumn clocking in at 1:50 in the morning, a partly cloudy afternoon. Kickoff high temperature at around 84 degrees. We do get into a couple of isolated widely scattered showers and thunderstorms Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, high 75 to 80 degrees. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
It's Wednesday. And good morning, everybody, on our social media, YouTube channel and Facebook Live.
Yes.
Stand by for interruption. Ladies and gentlemen, from Bible study in New Orleans, Louisiana, where we all should be 24/7, Brother Johnny. Johnny!
Hey, good morning, Stevie Jay.
He is, ladies and gentlemen, president of the Eagle Forum Education Legal Defense Fund, a lawyer with advanced degrees, New York Times bestselling author. Not afraid to roll up his sleeves and go into the swamp.
Absolutely.
It is Ed Martin. Ed, how are you?
I've got my hip waders on up to my chest, so I'm in here in the swamp. Before we get to anything else, I got to tell you guys, you're the first in the world. In the next 24 hours, I am going to break, I'm serious, major news. I found the guys that built the gallows. Yesterday during the hearing up on Capitol Hill, the ranking Democrat, Torres is her name, she said, "Oh my gosh, they built the gallows. They built the gallows on January 6th. It's terrible. Oh my gosh," she showed a picture of it. Except what she didn't show was that the Select Committee for 18 months run by Pelosi and the gang and the FBI hasn't even bothered to look at the video. I looked at the video, and I call it the Gallows Gang. There's 5 men that built the gallows on the morning of January 6th. They don't look like MAGA. They look like something else, and I'm going to put that out in the next 24 hours, and now we'll see. The media will ignore it, but I think that the people that care about what happened on January 6th will say, that looks like that was a staged event. Who are those people? Mm-hmm. And I think we'll find one of them is identifiable. I think we'll find that person pretty quickly, and we may have a few more answers on what was going on January 6th. So there you have it. Breaking news right here on Stevie Jay Show.
Yeah, and that's good, and it supports the theory that appears obvious that it was staged. Why would Pelosi go out of her way to not cover the Capitol? And anyway, good job, Ed. Sounds like we need more news like that.
And let me tell you the best way to position it. When Bubba Wallace noticed that the rope that in the garage at NASCAR was tied up in what looked like a noose, remember it was like the handle, and he called the FBI. The FBI was there in an hour, and they had a report out in 48 hours. We've had 2.5 years, and the FBI hasn't gotten to the bottom of the gallows that had a noose on it. So you say to yourself, well, what is it we care about here? It looks like we care about messaging, and so we're just going to see. We'll get to the bottom of it. And I think more and more of those things, those moments are coming out into the open. You know, someone said the machinery is open now. You can see what's happening under the hood here, whether it's the Biden crime families, influence peddling, whether it's the January 6th, fakery. Down in Texas, guys, they tried to run out the Attorney General, Ken Paxton. They impeached him, the rhinos and the Democrats, and he beat the impeachment. They were supposed to impeach him and convict him and throw him out of office. He beat it. And here's what you better do: if you're gonna take out you're gonna go for the AG, you better take him out, because now he's mad and he's looking at everybody and he's ready to fight. So I think more and more of these things are breaking out into the open, and we can feel a little better about our chances.
Okay, yesterday at the United Nations, our president went to the podium.
I look forward to working with all of you to do even more in the future. I'm genuinely looking forward to following up on this meeting, because we are stronger, and I genuinely believe the world is safer when we stand together, our 5 nations.
Wow. I mean, Ed, wow. I'm sorry.
That one's that inspiring as far as energy.
No, my goodness, Ed, you've called it elder abuse. It's just such a sad. He's not going to be the candidate. Anybody want to bet any money on this? There's no way.
I'll take the bet. I'll take the bet. I think at this point, honestly, it's Weekend at Bernie's deal. They're going to prop him up there. They'll come up with some crisis, something that makes it so he won't travel as much. They're going. They're not. He's not leaving. I mean, he may leave in an ambulance because of health issues or worse, but he's not leaving of his own volition. And that meeting up there, by the way, it's the UN General Assembly, but it's actually a halfway point to a 15-year hoax. The 15-year hoax is the Sustainable Goals Initiative that they started in 15, and it's all this climate hoax where basically we get to pay and nobody else pays. Yesterday, Donald Trump tweeted, "We've spent $200 billion in the Ukraine, America, and Europe has spent about 1/10 of that." And, who's the joke on here? They said they're the ones threatened by Russia overrunning Europe, and we're paying $200 billion. Same deal at the UN. And here's what the message is. Right now, America is being overrun by our adversaries because the White House is housed for an invalid. And they love it, and people love it in the world. They're going to prop him up and keep running this game, and it's terrible for the country. But I'll take the bet. I think he will be the nominee.
Unbelievable. Johnny.
Well, Eddie, I got to ask you, I keep hearing from people who are sure Michelle Obama is going to announce to run, and I don't know where that's coming from.
No way.
I haven't seen any evidence of it other than just random people saying, yeah, Michelle's running. Michelle. But, Stevie, I'm starting to think that the people who opened the border, defunded the police, drove up crime, ran inflation wild, and scrapped our energy program might actually think, and they think it's going great, Eddie. They might think Biden can win, too.
Unbelievable.
And I don't think Joe Biden will win.
Hey, okay, it's Brother Johnny and Ed Martin on the Tapman's Towing phone line, ESPN 93.5. Okay, Johnny, so what happened this last weekend? You were talking to some important people.
Well, it was Senator Kennedy. We were supporting our Attorney General. We had a visitor from out of state, the governor of South Dakota, Kristi Noem, which I was glad to meet her, and she's a great person. She stood up, Eddie, to the to whether or not to close her state businesses, churches, and schools. And I asked her, "Did you get a lot of pressure?" She laughed. She said, "Well, I looked at what the story was. I talked to the doctors, and we just didn't think it was necessary, nor did I think I had the power. So we stuck together." She said she got a conference call with 20 governors, who didn't want to shut their state. And the next time they had it, they said, "Let's keep talking." It was 14 governors, then 8 governors, then 3 governors. Eddie Willis, she was the last. She met the only one who did case was this Kristi Noem.
So you talked to Kristi Noem.
Yeah, and you'd like her. It's Governor Noem to you, Steve. Yeah, Chris and I got along real well.
Well, I mean, there's been buzz, Ed, about if Donald Trump's the guy, and it looks like he will be, that he'd pick Kristi Noem to be the vice president.
Well, look, the reason why is obvious. She's been vetted. She ran for the House. She was in the U.S. Congress for a couple terms. Then she ran for governor, and she's got experience. And as Johnny will tell you, I met her once up close. I mean, you talk about star power. She's a good-looking lady. She's very attractive, but she's tall and she's got a presence. She's got everything you need. Now, I wonder. I think Donald Trump made a comment that he was intrigued by the idea of a woman vice president. I think it's probably leaning that way. We'll see. There's others out there maybe, but yeah, no, she's real. By the way, the power of governors. You talk about a governor standing up. Over in Pennsylvania, the governor of Pennsylvania, Shapiro, announced yesterday that we're going to have automatic voter registration. He's just going to make sure anybody that thinks about Pennsylvania is registered to vote. So here comes the big steal, 2024. They're not going to be able to do the same kinds of changes in the courts, but he's going to do this one in Pennsylvania. When, over the weekend, I was not in the meeting. It was a different meeting out in Arizona. And, people were saying it comes down to 30 counties where the race will be decided, and 3 or 4 of them are in Pennsylvania, where the governor of Pennsylvania is going to make it easier to steal the election. So governors have power, and Kristi Noem has been one of the good ones.
Yeah, but she's got 3 electoral votes up there, so that's not going to help. Yeah. If you're going to have a woman, you got to look at North Carolina, which is not a slam dunk, and Nikki Haley's there. But I'd go for Kristi Noem. But Eddie, the automatic voter registration is almost given Pennsylvania to the Democrats. It's just cross it out. I mean, it's impossible to monitor a track and really just to control an outcome when there's no real structure to it and no traceability, or any of the more lenient approaches just leave it more open to shenanigans. And that's just life. You can call it election deny or not. I wish it was true that nobody would cheat, and that's what you have to believe with some of these systems that are set up. You have to believe, nobody would cheat.
Okay, Donald Trump was asked about the 5 hostages released from Iran, and then we released 5 hostages as well, or not hostages, 5 people detained in America, most likely terrorists.
They made a deal, as you know, for 5 hostages. I said, that sounds okay. 5 hostages. They had 5, we had 5. That sounds okay. But they forgot to tell me one thing. In addition to the hostages, they get $6 billion. You know that deal? You heard about that deal? That's not a good deal. That's not. What are they doing?
Doesn't that encourage more people being taken in foreign countries?
Yeah. Look, I mean, in a different era, these kinds of things are going on without so much public scrutiny. We're in an era where it's 24/7 and then online and all. So I do acknowledge that the world is a lot different. But you're right. I mean, look, $6 billion with a B, right? And into Iran, who's been on their heels. And the people that get the money are not the people of Iran. It's not like, oh, wow, look at that. The students at Tehran University are going to get new laptops. No, the oligarchs that run that place and the Islamic fundamentalists are going to get the money. So yes, it encourages other people, but more, Iran is not. This is not one of the ones we want to help strengthen. I mean, again, we spent $200 billion in Ukraine because we think that's a priority. I hate to be too dismissive here, but that's Christian on Christian to some extent. They may all be corrupt and dishonest and all, but at least sort of they're directionally not hating all of us in the West. Iran is totally hates us, and so it's just insane. And more importantly, back to my theme for the show, that we're being overrun as a nation because we don't have a leader who will stand up to these bastards. And so they're like, oh, giddy up, it's our chance. Let's do it. Next thing you're going to hear is Biden is floating that he may do one of these multilateral trade deals in the Pacific again, which are just designed to help the Chinese, and the other nations are rolling over for China because they're like, hey, we got that dope in the White House. Now's our chance, So it's a terrible deal.
And then, too, and I'm happy the hostages are free. That must have been a living hell. But, Steve, there's no possible way to know the death and destruction and the number of disasters that'll occur because of that $6 billion. That's what these people do with the money. And to give them that kind of power, which is the power of evil, is insane. And it's also evil. It's aiding and abetting. I mean, we have to get these people out of there. We know that, but I'm not sure everybody's quite there yet, Eddie. So.
Yeah.
217 texter, why do Republicans want to make it harder for people to vote?
Well, it's not hard to vote. If you can't wait a second, I want to know something else. Let me ask the texter to think about this. Is it really that hard to register between the 2 years between elections? Is it that big a deal to go register? If you don't want to vote, don't vote. But if you do, you can register. It doesn't have to automatically be registered. The reason it has to have a process with some sort of vetting where this person really exists is so that a bunch of votes don't show up from people who didn't vote. And you can say that never happened, but it probably happened to the tune of millions in the last few elections. And it's going to get worse. And that's why you make it not hard to vote, but not just taken for granted,
Exactly.
Taking out the trash. It is an important thing, and you have to agree to be identified and say, I live here and I can vote in this area, and I'm going to show up and vote, or I want to have a ballot that I'll fill out and have some sort of a witness. You have to have some process to make sure it's real. That's all. It's not making it hard to vote. It shouldn't be given to you as if it doesn't mean anything. If it's free, it's probably not worth much. And that's just how it is. You have to do something, at least make a promise on voting on my own, and I appreciate that right. That's my take on that.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's I don't know who the texter was, but it's such a stupid talking point. And my kids, my young kids say that's an NPC thing to say. It's basically that's my grandfather would have called the guy a moron. You're just saying something stupid. Voting is valuable. Voting in America is a big deal. People want to come from all over the world. In fact, they're rushing our southern border to get here. And so it's meaningful. Anything meaningful, you have meaningful things around it. You say, this is important to us, and therefore, what are we doing? When you have people that fraudulently vote, fraudulently register, when they say voting doesn't matter, they're demeaning the country and our people. So it's the exact opposite of the point they made. It's when no one is trying to say it's difficult to vote. We're saying it's powerful, it's important, it's meaningful. I wouldn't let you walk into my church and participate in my ceremony if you were wearing your Satan hat, because I would say, you know what, this is meaningful. You have to have a set of a buy-in to this. So, right now we're watching our institutions. See, the left loves this. They're denigrating our institutions, so we hate our institutions. And that's the worst thing you can do. They don't mind. And so they don't mind saying voting is, we need to make it meaningful. It used to be a big deal.
Yeah.
If you didn't vote, you were really not a nice participating person. and you had to go through the hoops, right? So it's a crazy system.
Right.
I mean, crazy that people are saying that.
The last minute I've got with Johnny and Ed today, and I'll start with you, Ed. They've changed the dress code in the Senate where John Fetterman can wear shorts and a hoodie. What in the world are we doing? Talk about denigrating.
Exactly. This again, it's a theme. We got an adult, dementia victim in the White House. No one is stepping up to say, "We love you, Dad or Grandpa. They'll come home and let us hug you." And so now we say another guy that's adult is going to say, "I want to wear a sweatshirt and a hoodie." Look. The reason why we dress up is not because the clothes matter. It's because the people in the clothes are made in the image and likeness of God, and it's worthy of our respect. A senator is worthy of a suit and tie or a suit, a dress or whatever it would be. It's just insanity. And the rest of the world is looking, and they're not thinking, "Boy, you're hip." They're thinking, "You guys are breaking down. Your culture is breaking down," and they're not wrong.
Well, I got to tell you, Eddie, you're correct as Steve. It's appropriate for Fetterman. It's an honest thing. He has no respect. He doesn't care. He doesn't worry about anyone else. And that's our senator. And I think Eddie nailed it. It's a matter of simple respect and putting it at a higher level. This is important. What we're doing here affects all the lives of our fellow Americans. And he doesn't care.
Well,
he wants to wear hoodie and
Stevie, I got to tell you this one line. This is the greatest line I heard on this. Greg Gutfeld, I give him credit, said, "Even Frankenstein wore a sport coat." I mean,
and the visitors that visit still have to have the dress code. Yeah. The visitors have to be but not John Fetterman. Guys,
that's
I appreciate
that elite thing. Yeah, you're right. It's breaking us down. They're trying to break us down. So we'll see if we can hold on.
Eddie and Johnny, how do people find you?
PhyllisSchlafly.com, guys. PhyllisSchlafly.com is our great website, and on Twitter or X, I'm battling away at Eagle Ed Martin. So thanks, guys. Have a great week.
I know you got to go, but Eddie, how was the weekend? How did you do down there in St. Louis?
It was fantastic. Actually, the biggest thing, we got to talk about it again. The biggest thing we had was somebody doing a hand ballot counting, hand voting, paper ballots and hand counting. It was extraordinary to see. So it turned out great. There was a lot of great things going on in this country. That's what gives me hope.
Guys, I appreciate both of you. Keep praying for us, Johnny. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Steve J.
All right. Eddie. Thanks, Eddie. Appreciate it. ESPN 93.5 on our Tapman's Joint phone line. Check of weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
They remind you the fall programming is upon us, and if you want to get your kids signed up for some great classes and enrich their lives and, take all the fitness and health things, urbanaparks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. Warm, late summer weather continues on to the foreseeable future and in the longer ranges as well, at least through the rest of the month and perhaps even the very beginning part of October around here, with temperatures at or well above seasonal expectations, including today. We'll top out around 82 under a mostly sunny sky. Any organized rain up north of the Kankakee and west of the Illinois. Again, for the day today, southeast to south breezes, overnight lows tonight either side of 60, with increasing cloudiness for the day tomorrow. Sun and cloud, southeast winds, and a high near 83. Down to the lower 60s tomorrow night. More unseasonably warm weather for the day Friday and Saturday, too. 85 on Friday, 84 kickoff time Saturday afternoon. That'll be the first day of fall, would you believe? And a couple of isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms for Sunday and Monday. Lingering chance on Tuesday. Dry the middle and late parts of next week. Daytime temperatures between 75 and 80. That's a few degrees above average still. Overnight readings 55 to 60. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Meteorologist Greg Soldier.
If you need an appliance, I've got the Stever. You can't get this ever, except through this program. I'm handing somebody $500 to go spend at least $1,000 at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. But you need it. And this will help. Stuff's expensive. $500 doesn't hurt anybody. If you're interested, you need an appliance, just text in DVD or Dick Van Dyke. $500 toward your purchase, minimum purchase of $1,000 at Dick Van Dyke Appliance. You can go to gostever.com as well. Ladies and gentlemen, good vibes, superstar, Steve Suderman. I called you earlier this week, didn't I? Because we're both at the senior moments where I don't remember. Do you remember taking my call?
I do remember taking your call. I was thinking yesterday, you need a lamp put into your projector.
I have the lamp. Did I tell you that? Okay, so I'm 900 years old. How are you, Steve? Nice to see you again, huh?
I am good. Right. I can see you clearly through this telephone. Right. Hey, yesterday Sony released the order for the 2023 mini LED TVs. This is the new technology.
Mini LED?
Yeah, we got your QLEDs, your OLEDs, your LEDs, and now your mini LEDs, and there'll be hybrids. There's QD OLEDs. There's so many LEDs, but the mini LEDs are bright. They're backlit by thousands of tiny LEDs. And if you have a sunny room that you want to be able to watch TV in, white paint on the wall, something where it's bright and the TV just gets washed out a little bit, fear not, because these things will outshine the sunniest room that there is. So those are on the way. We hope we'll have them up by the weekend because I got the tracking notice yesterday. Tomorrow I'm going back in the studio to record some spots with Luke Goody.
Hey,
we can revise the running Goody Vibes joke. It's been kind of fun. We're really lucky to have been able to hook up with and it's such an exemplary athlete and person to endorse our routine here. I wrote this one script that's sort of a boomer millennial thing, and I read it and say Luke wouldn't be that disrespectful. He wouldn't even want to read those lines. So we'll have a little fun with it.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's really exciting.
September 30, end of our fiscal. So we got deals. We got deals. Eclipse is helping out with a flash sale that ends this weekend. So their monitors. They're our best-selling soundbars. Their new subs, everything they've got that matters is all knocked down hundreds of dollars. The one of the subs is $360 off.
Wow.
And then the LG OLEDs are starting to drop to their more natural price points from the introductory level. So lots of reasons to see us that have to do with sound and picture.
Well, and for me, people who are tailgating, Steve, and they want to take it up a notch, some of the stuff that you talk about being deeply discounted, take it up a notch at your tailgate. I'm a couple in now, and there's some people that really love the technology at their tailgate party.
Well, first of all, the dish tailgater all by itself, the portable dish, really makes it easy to get your high-definition content wherever you go. They're not expensive. They're less than $300 to buy the device. You need a dish, receiver to get it, so that's in there too. But that does enhance. You see them all over the Memorial parking lots.
And you can buy like a day pass or something on Dish?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. That's pretty cool.
Well, you know something I don't.
Okay,
but I know.
I thought you could do like a tailgate. Wasn't there a tailgate, or was that direct? Maybe that was direct.
If you buy a month and you don't use the whole month, you get credit for the unused portion of your time to roll over to the next time you turn it on. So they're real fair about how they charge.
Well, listen, you got to go to Good Vibes. Were you a Jim Croce fan?
Yeah.
He was on an airplane this day in history.
50 years ago.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And I really liked him. I thought he was really, really...
I think he was only 30 when he passed away.
I think that's correct. But I just liked his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Back when Steve was opening Good Vibes, stuff like this was playing.
Tug on Superman's cape.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's...
I got a name. Time in a Bottle.
Time in a Bottle. I mean, he had a lot of stuff. Here you go, Steve. I got this one for you. It's my request. My request going out there to Steve. Come on, baby. Anyway, how can people find you?
Easily found at gvibes.com on the web or in person at 2010 Round Barn Road.
I'm telling you, I just go every time I see the new stuff. I
love it.
Mini LED, that'll be fun in a sunny room. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right, thanks you guys.
We were talking about some of the elections in that conversation with Ed Martin and Brother Johnny, and someone chimed in on our Facebook feed about County Clerk Aaron Ammons, and he's due on next week on the 27th after 8 a.m.
8 a.m. next week from today. Aaron Ammons will be on from 8 to 8:30. Well, if you want to ask questions, he knows my position. I'd like to tighten things up. I don't like the drop boxes. I don't like necessarily a ton of voter by mail. You can't do anything if you have 5 people voting at home. One could fill it out. He can't do anything about that. I mean, what are you going to do? Anyway, more on that next Wednesday. You're welcome to text them and everything else. And I like Jim Croce. Me too. They're flying from Louisiana to Austin, Texas for another concert they just finished. This time, not Time in a Bottle, one I just played.
Name. I got a name.
I got a name. That was being released tomorrow.
I see.
It was a day before, and that's when the plane crashed. A pilot error. He hit a tree on takeoff.
Oh, shit.
It was late at night.
Man.
That's a shame. 5 people died. We will be back. It's our friend, superstar anchor, Fox News star, Griff Jenkins.
Nice.
Will be next. Stand by. ESPN 93.5.
And I carry it with me like my daddy did. But I'm living the dream that he kept here. Moving me down the highway.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
The Attorney General under scrutiny. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Merrick Garland will be questioned next hour at a House Judiciary Committee hearing as Republicans, led by Chairman Jim Jordan, who tell Fox Business their investigation into President Biden and his son is issue 1.
Does the White House change story about their involvement with Hunter Biden? I was not involved in anything. Well, no, dinners, phone calls, meetings, and maybe more importantly, the Justice Department story has changed multiple times.
Now, as far as the House, they're also planning their first hearing in the impeachment inquiry next Thursday.
It's something the White House is slamming in a statement, saying this, quote, they, meaning Republicans, are clearly hoping they can use their baseless, evidence-free impeachment stunt to try to divert attention away from the consequences of their extreme agenda.
Now, that's Fox's Griff Jenkins. Now, at the UN Security Council next hour, there's going to be a speech from Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukraine's leader, who told world leaders yesterday,
After Russian aggression, no one in the world will dare to attack any nation.
Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi told the UN General Assembly the U.S. is responsible for violence in Ukraine, saying Iran has unmasked
the true nature of the rulers in both the East and West through its Islamic revolution.
The Israeli ambassador to the UN was so outraged that he walked out, accusing the UN of debasing itself by giving Raisi a platform. And he was even detained for protesting Iran's killing of Mahsa Amini, a Kurdish woman who was killed by Iran's so-called morality police for not correctly wearing a hijab.
That's Fox's Jackie Heinrich. It's day 6 of the auto workers' strike.
We just want to stick together. We want to see things just move at a better and a progressive way for everybody.
She's on the picket lines at a Ford plant in Michigan. They also walked out of a GM plant in Missouri, a Stellantis facility in Ohio, and the union's threatening to expand the strike Friday. America's listening to Fox News.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up? I'm tired of feeling so bloated. That used to be me. Then I got this. Align Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion. A probiotic, right? Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus Food Digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
Attorney General Merrick Garland is not the only Biden cabinet member facing tough questions this morning.
Some lawmakers may try to derail Secretary Pete Buttigieg when he takes questions at a hearing on issues with rail safety and flying. There have been a number of close calls involving commercial aircraft in recent months, along with delays and viral moments of out-of-control passengers. There's also concern after a string of derailments involving freight trains this year. Members of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee could grill the secretary on green energy policy, such as the sustainability of electric cars. There could also be talk about how a government shutdown would impact traveling across the country. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Congress has 11 days left to avert that shutdown with some sort of budget, but House Republicans have yet to agree on a plan for what's called a continuing resolution to fund operations through October. Congressman Greg Steube just told Fox Business.
The American people did not put us in charge of the House to do CRs with Democrats to fund the government. They put us in charge of the House to stand on American principles, to stand on good cuts in spending, to bring back up our economy, and to shut down the border.
Senate Democrats oppose spending cuts. An 84-year-old man, Andrew Lester, will be arraigned today in Missouri.
Weeks after a judge ruled that there's enough evidence for Lester to stand trial for shooting and injuring 17-year-old Ralph Yarl, who showed up at the wrong address in Kansas City late at night in April, and who we're told mistook Lester's home for someone else's before he was shot through a glass door. Lester's attorney says he had a reasonable fear to be afraid, and while Missouri law allows homeowners to defend themselves, prosecutors say Lester shot an unarmed kid who was standing outside his home.
That's Fox's Jeff Manasso. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising ahead of the Federal Reserve's decision today on interest rates expected to leave them where they are, no rate hike. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis in the spotlight after 3 billboards popped up in Chicago offering Illinois police officers $5,000 if they move to Florida to work. It comes on the heels of the Illinois Safety Act set to take effect, which would end cash bail for defendants. So far, 37 Illinois officers have taken up the job offer. Illinoisans who own firearms that can't be sold in the state will be allowed to keep them. State police filed an emergency rule with the Secretary of State to implement the Protect Illinois Communities Act. It regulates the sale and distribution of assault weapons, high-capacity magazines, and switches in Illinois. The act went into effect in January. Champaign County Regional Planning Commission has started taking appointments for the LIHEAP application opening next month. The program has helped thousands of families for decades. This year, it's starting in October and running to August the 15th. That's a look at what's happening on your Wednesday. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim Miller. ESPN 93.5. We check our weather forecast with the learned one, meteorologist Greg Solier, and looks pretty good for the farmers getting toward harvest, buddy.
Yeah, crop maturity moving along quite nicely, about 55 or so, 30 to 55%, depending on your west to east perspective out of the Corn Belt, is ready to go out there, and running at about 10 to 15% completion on the corn harvest side itself across the Midwest, and that's generally in relatively good order. Matter of fact, the stats in from the USDA, 70% of the corn crop across Illinois is mature, 63% in Iowa, 60% in Minnesota, so things are moving along very nicely. Of course, the heat and the dryness of a bit of a detriment in those western Corn Belt sections especially, and you kind of juggle this time of the year. You want to get harvest, crops mature, you want to get moisture back in the ground too, and recharge the subsoil moisture base before you get into the cold, lockdown, frozen, hard, solid season of wintertime around here, and we should be able to get everything accomplished here, lickety split harvest, and then later on this fall and into winter begin to get some significant moisture in the ground before it does freeze on up. So yeah, the trend early on here is to milder, to warmer and drier, although we do have some short-term recharge expected here late in the weekend and early next week. Speaking of which, the vanguard to that is raining up into parts of northeastern Illinois, outside of Chicago and southern Wisconsin as well. A little bit of rain into parts of Iowa and Missouri. Out the door this morning, it's a nice one and should stay that way here for the next few days with a good spell of late summer-like warmth at 60 down at Willard and Savoy later on this afternoon. High temperatures expected to top out across the area above average with typical average highs this time of the year somewhere into the mid-70s. We'll be looking at an afternoon high for the day today across the area that tops out at 82, 60 tonight, 83 tomorrow, 85 with sunshine Friday. Officially fall season here comes Saturday early morning. Forecast time for the ball game as well, 2:30, 84. It'll be a one-run at Memorial Stadium, and then a couple of spotty showers Sunday morning, and then showers and thunderstorms scattered late Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. High temperatures still between 75 and 80 degrees. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, that is awesome. And Diane went through the whole big-time wedding.
Yes.
And we're in that mode now.
I know.
Jacob
I've been praying for you.
Thank you. Jacob is coming home Monday. He's got 5 more games in AAA. That's Grace's future husband. Anyway, it's been fun. He's had a great year. He's been in AAA for now 3-4 weeks. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, boys and girls, cue the band.
When I was walking in Memphis,
He is a Fox News radio and television star, mostly TV now, but he started as Tony Snow's producer when he did his talk show.
And now from Memphis.
Yeah, he's originally Memphis. He loves the rendezvous ribs. We need to get you some rendezvous ribs there. Griff Jenkins, how are you?
Hey, Stevie J, good morning. And you know what? My radio career goes all the way back to the 90s.
Wow.
Excuse me, when I started Ollie North, Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, U.S. Marine Corps, his Common Sense Radio show back in the mid-90s.
Yes, I was at a radio convention with him, shared an elevator with him. You might have been in there, too.
There you go.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
And we had a great
probably there.
Exactly.
I'll be doggone. It's Griff Jenkins, all-around great guy, terrific reporter, great anchor, and just entertaining as heck. Okay, so...
Check is in the mail.
No. I mean, and your work ethic stems from the time you wanted the moped, and your dad said, go work for it. That's how it all started, man.
Exactly. And, you know, I got to tell you, you look at some of the younger generation, and, you know, I appreciate the work smarter, not harder. But, look, for me, and I think most of our generation, Stevie J, you learn to work hard from the time you were old enough to get employed anywhere. And knock on wood, I think it has served me well so far.
Well, you're crawling through thorn bushes on the border, man. Yeah. Nobody does that. Come on, man. That's just a guy that rolls up his sleeve and gets after it. A great Les Brown motivational speaker said you got to be hungry, and you're hungry. Yeah. You're after it, man.
And curious, and you know, let me break a little bit of news. I'm going to get on a plane tomorrow morning. We just this afternoon sort of pulled it together. I'm going to hop on a plane and go back to Eagle Pass, Texas. I'll be there about a week or so, going back to the border, and happy to give a call into you guys too, because honest to God, you know, I have got a lot of good sources in this DHS, CBP, Border Patrol. And about a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, they started saying, hey, man, you know, the numbers are really out of control. I said, what are you talking about? They said, we're getting back to the numbers we were seeing back in May, right before Title 42 ended, which was 7, 8. Now we know it's 9,000. I put out at Fox the 4-day between Friday and Monday of this past week. It was 35,500 something, which is roughly almost 9,000 encounters a day. And the sources told me, they said, look, we at Border Patrol, we can't take anymore. Like, the system's going to collapse. And this comes, just to put it in context, after the administration thought, well, Title 42 goes away, but we got this CBP One app when they can go on an app online, legally apply for asylum, be legally paroled at a port of entry into the U.S., where the administration would cut down on the number of people coming. But guess what? It takes time. It's backlogged. And the migrants have no patience. And why should they when they know there is a near guarantee that when they illegally just step across or across a river and step on U.S. soil, then they're going to be mass released. And this administration, which favors mass releases, is rewarding their efforts. And so this has no end in sight. And so I said, get me back to the border and let's see it on the front line.
What is the morale of our border agents, would you guess?
I can't thank you enough for asking that. The morale is in the toilet. They're overworked, they're overwhelmed, and it's coming at a time, Stevie J, when you've got the Republicans possibly holding out, a small group of them, to shut down the government. And if the government shuts down, and it, you know, is a little complicated on how it works, but ultimately you could have a scenario come October 1st where these poor, exhausted men and women of Border Patrol and CBP could have to go without a paycheck. And that is literally the worst case scenario for the men and women that are trying to hold the line and keep our country from being literally overrun by the number of migrants coming.
I mean, the policy is clear. It's an open border policy. And so it has to be very confusing and frustrating. We had a former division leader, retired ICE guy yesterday, and he is so passionate about getting the word out. And outside of you, Griff, I mean, there's just not a lot of movement on this story.
There's not. And I'll give credit to I haven't seen it this morning, but I was up on the Hill covering a quick thing on the Garland testimony today, another big story today. Yeah. But I did see yesterday that CNN has at least a reporter in El Paso. And, for the life of me, I cannot understand why this isn't a story leading many newscasts right now, because it's never been this bad. And as your ICE guest points out, for the men and women who devoted their professional lives to trying to secure our border from dangers beyond, they're just flabbergasted, because it's unbelievable to think that if you just decided to open your front door of your house and just leave, and who knows who may walk in it, and that's okay, it makes absolutely no sense. And a point in case, Bill Malugin and I were working late last night, hand in hand, to confirm this story you'll see him reporting on today. In Eagle Pass, where I'm going tomorrow, a migrant from Peru crossed illegally into Eagle Pass back in May, was released by Border Patrol into the custody of ICE, who then released the single male, 64 Peru adult migrant, released it to the local NGO with a ATD, which is an alternative to detention, meaning you're basically just mass released. And by the way, we never, until a few years ago, started releasing single adult males because the obvious danger that they could pose, particularly without a lot of knowledge of their background of where they came from. But they released him, and now he was charged yesterday with murder. Now, the details are still thin on who was murdered, how it happened. We don't know. We're working on the rest of the story from the local Maverick County Sheriff. It's got to give us a little more details. But nonetheless, any way you slice it, it's not good that a migrant crossed illegally, was released, and murdered anyone. And at the end of the day, you have to step back, and this is the point of it. It was eventually going to happen. Like, it was inevitable if we just mass release people that you're going to have a scenario where someone released commits heinous crimes, in this case, a murder.
What was sad, and when we know there are other stories like that, it's just heartbreaking, and what it does to people forever. It's just horrific. I'm telling you, and I know this isn't going to solve anything. I would send buses till further notice to two places. Number one, Washington, D.C. Number two, Martha's Vineyard. I'd just go right at them, man. Here you come. But listen, I mean, you think about 9,000 people a day, 9,000 encounters, they all have to go to the bathroom. They all have to eat. How are we doing this in New York City and Chicago and everybody? They're just on the sidewalk. Is this what we want?
Well, and it's fascinating. I mean, listen, you got to give Texas Governor Greg Abbott a lot of kudos, because he was vilified for this political stunt by Democrats. But at the end of the day, you've now got people like Mayor Eric Adams, Democrat in New York, and the governor, Kathy Hochul, fighting now with the administration. And by the way, don't think for a second that it wasn't noticed that Joe Biden came to New York to go to the UN, had a couple of days there with giant gaps on his public schedule, which we presume he was napping at his hotel, when he could have taken a 15-minute meeting with Mayor Adams, who has been begging, pleading for help, saying that the future of New York is on the line here because of this problem. And yet Joe Biden had no time to even hear the mayor's concerns, and it tells you, I think, a little bit in a snapshot, a little bit of how concerned they are about this and the prioritization they put on it, which is pretty much nothing.
We're thankful for Griff Jenkins. So you'll be at Eagle Pass the rest of the week?
That's right. Going to head down there tomorrow, be reporting Friday through the weekend into next week, and continue to tell the story. And if others won't do it, that's fine. We'll keep doing it. I put a video out on Sunday, you may have seen, of these migrants on a train coming through Mexico. They got like 4 million views. And you look at the polls, Fox's polls, the number 2 issue to Americans out there is immigration. And so people are paying attention whether or not the mainstream media decides to cover it or not.
Griff Jenkins, Renaissance man, outstanding reporter and anchor. Ladies and gentlemen, I just checked this morning's rankings, and you are number 1 in the world when it comes to prominent anchors and reporters leading the world in surfing.
Yes, I love it. Thank you, Stevie Jay.
Nobody does that. Nobody is an anchor at Fox or anywhere else and then surfs in the 50-plus division, baby. Come on, man.
World champ. Look out.
Hey, I appreciate your time. Keep up your good work. Stay safe in Texas. We'll be connecting again.
Thanks, Stevie Jay. Have a great one.
A bushy blonde hair.
He's a surfer.
Surfing US.
I love it.
You'll catch him surfing at
Have you ever done that?
No.
I haven't either.
In Hawaii, Nathaniel's birthday present was surfing lessons. So we were on Oahu, Honolulu, and he went out there, and I think he got up on the board.
Okay.
I mean,
bodyboard, whatever.
Yeah, but I think he stood up.
Boogie board.
I think he stood up. I have to ask him tomorrow. Did you know?
That's right.
Anyway, no, it's surfing, and the Griff. He sent me a picture of the back of his car with the surfboards in it.
Yes.
As if he has time.
I love
I
that.
haven't checked Eagle Pass test because I don't think there's water there. I don't think he's surfing there.
Right.
But I really like him. He's a good man and really, really, really a down-to-earth dude. And just
he's one of us, the way he talks, and obviously coming from radio in the 90s. That's awesome that he was on Ollie North's show. I didn't realize that.
No, he's just great.
Good stuff.
Big fan. Okay, Busey proud to give back to its communities by doing the right thing for customers, building trusted relationships that actually span generations. In 21 and 22, Busey Associates generously gave 20,000 hours. There's a lot of community time there.
Yes, it is.
Nearly 200 associates committed to board service in their community, so they're very active. Busey Associates have also raised $450,000 through the Pay It Forward Fridays. Now, there's a place you can go. You can take a look at the whole report. If you want information about Busey's volunteer initiatives, charitable campaigns, you can check out the Busey's 2022 Impact, Corporate Sustainability Practices, Associate Training, Recognition, Development. It's all in there. All you have to do to learn more about this report is go to busey.com/impact, busey.com/impact. When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
If you're in the market for a new car battery, you could go to one of those big box stores, except there's no guarantee you'll be served by an actual car expert.
Clean up in aisle 3.
You could pick a battery off the shelf, except it might be close to expiring. Or you could just come into Interstate. Don't make a big box store blunder. With competitive prices and a more personal, reliable approach, Interstate Batteries is the clear-cut choice if you want to guarantee yourself a new and trustworthy car battery. They're open and ready to serve you at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Housing construction slumped in August. Housing starts, which is groundbreakings, declined 11.3% last month. However, building permits for new construction rose 6.9%. A sign we'll be seeing more construction in weeks and months to come. Volvo says it will end production of diesel cars by early next year. The company is moving towards selling fully electric cars in 7 years. Only 8% of Volvo cars made last year were diesels, and about a third were fully electric or plug-in hybrid models. Florida-based digital health company UpHealth has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy reorganization. It expects to continue operating. The Federal Reserve's two-day meeting starts today, and also Instacart launches its stock on the NASDAQ. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola. Invested in you.
I'm Emily Campagno, host of the Fox True Crime Podcast. All this week, I'm bringing you gripping details straight out of some of the most horrific crimes. Whether it's a murder that rocked a quiet town, a wrongful conviction, or a cold case that remains unsolved, I'm speaking to the people who lived the story for an unparalleled look at these shocking cases. Join me for a week of true crime content you won't want to miss. Subscribe at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts.
Does your home have those annoying outdoor spigots that leak and have no pressure? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing can help. Install a new Woodford outdoor spigot so your gardens and flowers don't suffer in this summer heat. Make sure your home's outdoors look great and call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Well, we got Randy Shannon, president of the Blue Crew, with a big golf outing to raise some money. Hey, Randy, how are you?
Good. How are you this morning?
We're fine. Thanks for being on here. So what do you got coming up, and for what reason? First responders?
Yes, sir. We are a law enforcement first responders motorcycle club. So our club encompasses law enforcement, former law enforcement, veterans, first responders, firefighters.
Good group of people, that's for sure. And I know on September 30th, you'll be at the Orange and Blue course in Savoy. Tell us what's happening with this golf outing.
5 years ago, we suddenly lost a member of ours, Chaz McCrone, in an automobile accident. He was a captain of the Pistodum Fire Department. When we lost Chaz, we thought the best way to honor him would be to do a firefighter scholarship at IFSI Fire Institute and pay a young man or woman's way through fire training.
Now, that's not cheap. Let's talk about how much that can be.
That can be pretty expensive. I mean, the training out there is top-notch, so it's worth it, but we like to choose young men or women around here that are self-pay, that the departments aren't able to afford to send them to, so the firefighter himself pays for it.
Well, if you pay for your own way through, when you get through the thing, I would think you'd be extraordinarily hireable, right?
Absolutely. We've given 4 scholarships. This will be our 5th, and all 4 have been hired on permanent fire departments so far. So we've got a pretty good track record.
Well, first responders, I mean, firefighters, people say, it's great, and it'd be worse in Chicago with Champagne's not. Listen, you're the first at the accident, man. You see stuff that most of us just couldn't deal with. I mean, there's a lot going on with the kind of scenes you all run up against. And obviously, police every day put their life in danger with all the stuff. But Randy, it's just we can't say thank you enough.
Well, we do appreciate that, and it is true. The stuff that first responders, military, and police go through every day. The mental health aspect of it is something that people don't look at. But those protections and freedoms, if they're not there, then I don't know what would happen in this world. You know what I mean?
It's collapsing, right? As before our eyes, that's what happens. When you disarm police and you don't have a 911 answer, you got to go get your own gun and defend your backyard. I mean, this is crazy time.
Right.
And Randy, we want you to know how incredibly valuable you are. What is your background?
I'm military. I was in the United States Army in the Army National Guard out of Paris, Illinois, the 1544th.
Well, was that something that you always wanted to do?
My grandfather had a rule when I was growing up: you serve your country and then you go on with your life.
Wow.
Okay.
So it wasn't much of a choice. Out of, I've got 20-some cousins, probably 15 of us served, the male.
And looking back on it, are you excited you did do that? Was it a good move?
I wouldn't go back for nothing, but I wouldn't trade the experience for anything in the world.
Gotcha. Well, it's so valuable, and we here at our broadcasting company just try to say it every single time. We hit the police really hard from goodness and what y'all, first responders and the stuff you all do, you're doing work many of us aren't doing, but we couldn't do. You're doing something we could not do, and it has to be appreciated, and we just want you to know how incredibly important you are.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. The community, I think a lot of the community feels the same.
Yep.
Obviously, in everything, there's a couple one-offs, but the community has really stepped up this year. Cars and Carts out of Newman, Illinois, Campus Inc., Feldkamp Towing, Bobo's Barbecue, Rocket Motors, Circle K. I mean, the list goes on and on of people that have really stepped to the plate to help with this event.
Randy Shannon, president of Blue Crew. It's a motorcycle club, law enforcement motorcycle club. Now, again, one more time for the 30th, which is a week from Saturday. What do we do?
September 30th. It is at the U of I Blue and Orange. We have a shotgun start at 10 o'clock, sign-ins from 8 to 9. We have limited slots available, so make sure you get on our website. And our website is centralillinoisbluecrew.com and sign up. And if you aren't able to get into the event this year, you can still come out, enjoy the raffles, enjoy a few contests that we have going on out there and just support the young firefighters going to the academy.
Nice.
Hey, buddy, I appreciate you. Thank you, Randy Shannon. Thanks for being on.
Thanks for all you do.
Way to go.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me on. We appreciate what your station and what you two have done for us. We greatly appreciate it.
Appreciate you right back. Thank you, Randy Shannon. ESPN 93.5, News, Weather, Sports, all in our final half hour. Football days away.
Fighting Illini football versus Florida Atlantic University on Saturday, September 23rd. Bring the whole family and enjoy the family fun in Grange Grove with bounce houses, equipment try-on, live music, tailgating, and more. Get tickets as low as $15 for Fighting Illini football versus Florida Atlantic. Saturday, September 23rd at fightingillini.com.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Hey, where are you headed? To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. What do they have there? What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more. So, everything. Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Attorney General Merrick Garland's about to appear before the House Judiciary Committee accused by Republicans of protecting President Biden and his son Hunter.
His opening statement reads, quote, "There is not one set of laws for the powerful and another for the powerless, one for the rich, another for the poor, one for Democrats, another for Republicans, or different rules depending on one's race or ethnicity or religion. Our job is to pursue justice without fear or favor."
Fox's Brooks Singman. Florida Senator Rick Scott's joined by 46 other Republicans asking to reinstate enforcement of the Senate dress code.
They say loosening the rules disrespects the institution. Scott tweeting, "The Senate floor is a special place. It's not hard to show it some respect and dress like a grown-up." The Senate dress code previously required coats and ties for men and business attire for women.
Fox's Chris DeMeo. America's listening to Fox News.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Illini fans, gear up for the football season this year with the official fan store of the Fighting Illini, Game Day Spirit. Get ready to support your Fighting Illini by shopping their great selection of Illini football merchandise, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, even brand new Nike replica jerseys. Shop with them at the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign, 6th and Green in Campustown, or online 24/7 at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit, where Illini fans shop.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne, home of their award-winning Honda dealership, a double recipient of the prestigious Honda President's Award. With a legacy of excellence, they offer you the finest selection of Honda vehicles backed by unparalleled customer service. As a two-time winner, they're committed to exceeding your expectations. Visit them today at Route 45 at Burwalk or Sarah, SERRA, Champagne.com. Sarah Champagne, home of Honda, BMW, Subaru, Buick, and GMC. That's sarahchampagne.com.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Here's a look at local news. An investigation continues after a family of 4 found dead in Romeoville, Illinois. Police say Roberto Roland and Zoraida Bartolome, their 2 kids and 3 dogs discovered shot to death Sunday night inside a home at the 500 block of Concord Avenue. The discovery made after a member of the family didn't show up to work. Illinoisans who own firearms that can't be sold in the state will be allowed to keep them. Illinois State Police filed an emergency rule with the Secretary of State to implement the Protect Illinois Communities Act, which regulates the sale and distribution of assault weapons, high-capacity magazines, and switches in Illinois. Act went into effect in January. Illinois offering free car seat checks for parents and caregivers this week. The Department of Transportation encouraging parents and caregivers to have their child safety seats checked to make sure they meet certain safety standards and installed correctly. There will be 92 car seat check events throughout the state this week. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Does your home have those annoying outdoor spigots that leak and have no pressure? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing can help. Install a new Woodford outdoor spigot so your gardens and flowers don't suffer in this summer heat. Make sure your home's outdoors look great and call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne, home of their award-winning Honda dealership, a double recipient of the prestigious Honda President's Award. With a legacy of excellence, they offer you the finest selection of Honda vehicles backed by unparalleled customer service. As a 2-time winner, they're committed to exceeding your expectations. Visit them today at Route 45 at Burwalk or Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, Champagne.com. Sarah Champagne, home of Honda, BMW, Subaru, Buick, and GMC. That's sarahchampagne.com. The Blossom Basket Florist has been in business since 1954. In the last 25 years, the Blossom Basket Florist has processed over 535,000 orders. That's 21,400 orders per year. With that type of volume, they know they have satisfied customers who just keep coming back. Find out why their customers love their designs and customer service. From simple to simply magnificent, they can design for any type of event. Visit them at 1002 North Cunningham in Urbana or online at blossombasket.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Van vicinity. Warm, late summer weather continues on to the foreseeable future and in the longer ranges as well, at least through the rest of the month and perhaps even the very beginning part of October around here, with temperatures at or well above seasonal expectations, including today. We'll top out around 82 under a mostly sunny sky. Any organized rain up north of the Kankakee and west of the Illinois. Again, for the day-to-day, southeast to south breezes, overnight lows tonight either side of 60, with increasing cloudiness for the day tomorrow. Sun and cloud, southeast winds, and a high near 83. Down to the lower 60s tomorrow night. More unseasonably warm weather for the day Friday and Saturday too. 85 on Friday, 84 kickoff time Saturday afternoon. That'll be the first day of fall, would you believe? And a couple of isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms for Sunday and Monday. Lingering chance on Tuesday. Dry the middle and late parts of next week. Daytime temperatures between 75 and 80. That's a few degrees above average still. Overnight readings 55 to 60. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Allow us to offer you a welcoming invitation to our MCC Family Get-Together on Sunday, September 24th. Come and join our Muhammad Christian Church as we will celebrate our weekly worship service outside at 10 a.m. A tent canopy to protect from the weather will be in place, and a welcoming team will greet you and your family and assist your every need. Bottled water, smiles, and a chorus of "Glad to see you" will be provided. And please stop by our children's ministry table and here are the creative, exciting, and fun walks with Jesus. Join us as we share communion and the feeling of our Lord smiling with His blessings. That's Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road, Sunday, September 24th for outside service at 10 a.m. And stay for our MCC Family Get-Together picnic, absolutely free following service. We are Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road. Please visit muhammadchristian.org. All right, so we're live at Pia's this Friday with the boys. That'll be fun, always is. And that's West Springfield. Before you get to Mattis, you'll see Pia's, and then we'll be in the back, and we'll be all set up.
Yep.
Tickets to give away to the game, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff we give away. It is so entertaining seeing Derek and Lon interact, and Lon, having guests come up, and it's a blast.
It wasn't an empty table. It was pretty full.
That's right.
We had a lot of people in the first one, and this will be number 2. We're going to do 4 of these.
And the special will be the Bullet Rye and Bourbon, and they've got their Woody Wagon. It's kind of a teardrop trailer that unfolds into a tailgate experience that's top notch. So we'll have that partying on the patio also.
All right. Pia's again, 3 to 5. 3 o'clock hour repeated, the 5 o'clock hour.
And then, of course, you could win tickets to that 2:30 kickoff the next day, Saturday, as we take on Florida Atlantic. I don't know if we've ever played that.
I don't think we've ever played them in football. No. All right, 20 till, Illinois' basketball schedule has been released, and it looks like our only Big Ten game before the new year will be December 2.
Against Rutgers.
What do they call that? The Rack? It's a tough place to play.
That's right.
With people all around you, like on top of you. It's really intimate. And it's a hard place to win. That McCaffrey, whatever that guy's name was, he transferred. He was the guy with the headband. He was a problem.
That's right.
He was actually rumored to maybe have a look at Illinois at one point, but he left the conference. I don't know where he went. Anyway.
And now that we have more of an idea of how the season looks, you've also got the iFund member pre-sale mini plan tickets that'll start up on September 26th, and that could give you primo seating for that Maui Strong relief matchup against Kansas that'll be coming our way on Sunday, October 29th at 5.
It's a fundraiser. If you want to be in the 100 level, if they're still available, it's like 175. Parking maybe 25. I mean, they're trying to raise millions of dollars here.
Now we'll have a game under our belt against Ottawa with an exhibition game on Friday, October 20th. But that'll be a hot ticket, Sunday, October 29th, to have Bill Self coming back. And then we have EIU on Monday, November 6th, and Oakland Friday, November 10th. Marquette on Tuesday, November 14th.
Home, Marquette's here. Yeah, we played them up there last year, lost, I think.
And then, like you said, the Big Ten is full and on in 2024.
What's it, 2024, January? Read my January schedule because I think it's really hard.
Okay. Let me pull that up. I did note that we have Iowa on March 10th to wrap up the regular season.
Here?
It's at Iowa, I believe. Okay. And then we're off to the Big Ten tournament, which is in Minneapolis this year, March 13th through the 17th. And March 13th through the 17th, when it comes to how things look in Minneapolis, that could be a challenge to me. Yeah, they're pretty in their winter, aren't they?
No, I think it breaks by then.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. Why are we going to Minnesota? It's usually Chicago or Indy.
I know.
And we must be playing where the Timberwolves play. We wouldn't play in the barn.
That's right.
Minnesota plays.
So I do have some games up if you're interested. What were you asking?
Just January.
Okay, January. So I'm scrolling. We have Northwestern.
Here.
At Northwestern. Oh, no. It's at the State Farm Center.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right.
January 2nd. Purdue on January 5th. That's a Friday at West Lafayette.
Okay.
Michigan State at January 11th. That's a Thursday at the State Farm Center.
Yeah.
Maryland at the State Farm Center, Sunday, January 14th. Michigan at Ann Arbor, January 18th. Rutgers again, Sunday, January 20th at the State Farm Center. Northwestern's back at Evanston, and that's coming up on January 24th. We also have Indiana on Saturday, January 27th at the State Farm Center. We'll be back in Columbus, Ohio against Ohio State on January 30th.
Well, that's a full month of basketball and some really tough games in there. I would think, again, I was listening, it was first games up to the 14th. We're not going to have the students around. And you kind of want them around because they help Orange Crush and all
right.
that. So there won't be any student until we get to, when we go to Ann Arbor on the 18th. So, hey, it's on. And we certainly have a top 5 team with the guys who got coming back.
Right.
But man, oh man, anybody want to guard Josh Edey? He can't play in the NBA, but he's
7-foot guy.
Yeah, 7'4".
Oh my goodness.
He's. I loved when Kofi was playing. Kofi can't come back, right? Yeah. Dang it. All right, 844 ESPN 93.5. Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. Welcome to Sarah Champagne, where your dream car awaits. With an exquisite selection of top-tier vehicles, impeccable service, and unbeatable prices, they are your ultimate destination for automotive excellence. Experience luxury, performance, and style like never before. Visit today and drive home in the vehicle you've always desired. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. Your journey towards automotive perfection starts here. Visit them at Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
Local, personal, trusted. Hi, this is Todd Durakan with First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, and we've been serving Champaign County since 1908. Our institution is safe, strong, and stable. We operate on a foundation of responsible and sound practices, and you can rest easy knowing we're your bank. Rated 5-star superior by Bauer Financial Inc., fast, friendly, and local, with local loan decisions and underwriting. If you're not already banking with us, give us a try, and we think you'll love it here. First Federal Savings Bank, 356bank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 435120.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Short-term market fluctuations can be unnerving for everyone. A proven way to tune out the noise and focus on long-term investment goals is to adhere to a well-constructed investment plan. This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you don't have a plan in place, we can help create one designed specifically for you. Call us today for a complimentary consultation at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
All right, sports headlines.
Milwaukee beat our St. Louis Cardinals 7-3 yesterday. At least we had the Wainwright 200th win that made us all happy.
That's a highlight of the year for me. That's
you know, them celebrating in the locker room and champagne and all. It kind of felt like, you know, some of the other postseason play when they were getting into it in recent years past. So at least we had that.
Yep.
So 6:45 start over on ESPN 93.5 and over on US 105.9. We have the Cubs and Pirates getting together. It's a 6:40 start. In fact, 14-1 yesterday over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cody Bellinger with that 3-run homer. Good stuff. And I don't even know Alexander Canario.
Yeah, good going. Grand Slam. Yeah, I don't know, but we maybe ought to know him now.
Exactly. Chicago White Sox were beat by the Nationals 4-3. They've got a 12:05 start. We have our volleyball team in action in Bloomington, Indiana against the Hoosiers at 7. Go Illini. That's sports. I'm Diane Ducey.
See the showroom top designer shop. Flooring surface is your first stop. Amazing selection, price, and style. On hardwoods, laminates, carpet, and tile. Low prices on high fashion. Step up the flooring that gets a wow reaction. See the showroom top designer shop. Flooring surface is your first stop. Flooring surfaces your first stop.
Flooring Surfaces now offers beautiful window fashions. Our interior design team will custom fit shade, shutters, and blinds to any size opening. Visit the showroom to see the latest fashions from Graber and Hunter Douglas, or request an in-home consultation. Whether it's floors or windows, Flooring Surfaces has you covered. See us today at 401 Mercury Drive in Champaign.
See the showroom top designer shop. Flooring surfaces your first stop. Flooring surfaces your first stop.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. While clusters of showers and thunderstorms play out in the Mississippi River Valley on westward and up along and north of the I-80 corridor, we sit in good shape here at East Central Illinois. Warm days, pleasant nights, humidity for now in check. And yeah, it's more or less a summery feel, even well past the old equinox rolling in here in the pre-dawn hours of Saturday. No changes to football Saturday's forecast with temperatures in the 80s. Forecast for the day today is a day that features partly to mostly sunny skies, warm weather, again southeast to south winds at a high at about 82, average high this time of the year at around 77. We'll bottom out tonight with increasing clouds and 60. Tomorrow partly sunny, warm southeasterly breezes at a high near 83. Sunshine at 85 the Friday outlook. Saturday with autumn clocking in at 1:50 in the morning, a partly cloudy afternoon. Kickoff high temperature at around 84 degrees. We do get into a couple of isolated widely scattered showers and thunderstorms Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, high 75 to 80 degrees. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne, where your dream car awaits. With an exquisite selection of top-tier vehicles, impeccable service, and unbeatable prices, they are your ultimate destination for automotive excellence. Experience luxury, performance, and style like never before. Visit today and drive home in the vehicle you've always desired. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. Your journey towards automotive perfection starts here. Visit them at Sarah, S-C-R-R-A, champagne.com.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Well, there's been a lot of negative about the Chicago Bears. Man.
I know.
They're talking like Justin Fields isn't going to be the quarterback anymore, and he's out by week whatever, and they're going to throw him under the bus and all these other things. It's been
I know.
2 games.
But I mean, that is the nature of Chicago sports in general, isn't it?
Well, and it's the current head coach.
The Bears are 0-2. So.
Matt Eberflus, nobody knows who he is, and he's 3-16. It's like the worst start ever for a Bears coach. So that's probably not going to work. But they also didn't draft Justin. Justin Fields was drafted by the previous general manager. So he can say, well, we got to get our guy, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's the NFL's really unbelievably popular, and somebody needs to do a thesis. Would it be popular if there were no gambling? Would it be popular if fantasy was banned in America? Would it be popular if there was no beer at Soldier Field?
Right.
I mean, it is an amazing.
Oh my goodness.
It is an amazing 38-year-old male event.
Yes, it is.
And it's
lots of testosterone.
Well, there's money flying all over the place,
Right.
and people are making in-game bets. I mean, it's all going on. I'm just wondering, is this just like modern-day gladiators, except hopefully nobody dies? I mean, what is this? How far will it go? How can it continue paying a quarterback $55 million a year, and even if they don't play? I mean, it's and you're just trying to get yours. Very few get that kind of money. And the running back position we've talked about. I mean, what's the value? You're good for 3 to 5 years. Shelf life. There's another guy. He's coming in. He's good for 3 to 5 years. And then the running backs are, well, let's have our own union, a sub-union of a union. It's just like, Saquon Barkley was trying to get all this money. They finally extended him a year. He's hurt again. It is just that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. The center in basketball in the NBA is gone. There's no more Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Shaquille O'Neal. That's out of date. Kofi Coburn was Shaquille O'Neal, and he couldn't get a job.
Yep.
So it's
you got to be able to shoot the threes.
Yeah, it's an
From anywhere.
Evolution.
So, yeah.
Evolution. Okay, we are done, but we shall return tomorrow. John Decker, Gray Television's White House correspondent, be bright and chippy tomorrow.
Well, and to add to the Chicago sports note, they're also finicky about the Cubs here in the last stretch, too.
Well, now that they won last night, everything's fine.
Yeah. Okay, let's hope.
John Decker, bright and cheery in the morning. Did you know Nathaniel Son? That's also tomorrow. So we'll be back. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's Diane Ducey.
Enjoy the day.
I'm Stevie Jay. Thank you for listening. The boys this afternoon, Lonte, Derek Piper with Kyle Tosk. That's after 3. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday.
Crossroads Contractor Supply specializes in the delivery of tools and supplies within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana. Reliable, timely, and with reasonable prices, Crossroads Contractor Supply knows what equipment and tools are needed for your job. Get the job done right with proper tools and equipment. Did something break? Construction materials, tools, as well as safety equipment, all available at Crossroads Contractor Supply. Visit crossroadscontractorsupplyil.com.
When you've got an emergency, call Dogtown Heating and Air. Whether it's HVAC repair, plumbing repair, or choosing a new system for your home, Dogtown is here for you. They're an independently owned Lennox dealer, and they offer financing and repair for all makes and models. They also offer a maintenance program to protect and prolong the life of your equipment. Open 24/7 for your needs. Call Dogtown Heating and Air at 217-841-4728. That's 841-4728. Online at dogtownheatingandair.com.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club?
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Call the roofing company that is family owned and operated, licensed, insured, and bonded. We offer excellent customer service and make our customer needs our top priority. Roof Doctors has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. It's easy to see why we have hundreds of very happy customers. Call us today for your free estimate or to discuss your upcoming project at 328-7529 or visit roofdoctorsco.com. That is 328-7529 or roofdoctorsco.com.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
These days, it seems like bank names are changing faster than a forecast in February. But at Iroquois Federal, we're still the same community bank we've always been. For more than 135 years, we've built relationships by helping build the things that matter, whether it's a business, a back porch, or the building blocks of a better life. If you're looking for a bank that's here for the long haul, swing by today and see for yourself why different rules. Iroquois Federal, still friendly, still local, still here.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.